Galala Yahweh. Boy, Shema Masha Yavasha. Shema Yasharella Yahweh Alahaya Nawa Aka, the Barmash Baka. Shalom. May peace, serenity, and prosperity be multiplied unto you all. Asha Shabbat. All right, so for this lesson, you all, I want to, through the Spirit, do a meditation on Psalms chapter 92. And Psalms 92, that's something that should be read every Shabbat. Every Shabbat, Psalm 92 should be read. But we're going to meditate on Psalm chapter 92 for this lesson. So, I always encourage all listeners to follow along with your own Bibles. We're going to be in Psalm 92, and we're going to get some corresponding precepts to go along with some of the scriptures that are mentioned in Psalm chapter 92. Without further ado, let's begin. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 92, starting from the top. It is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and sing praises unto thy name, O Most High. So let's stop right here. Malak Dawah tells us that it is a good thing to give thanks unto Yahweh and to sing praises unto his name, O Most High. How often are we doing that? I want you all to self-reflect on how often we're giving thanks unto the Most High, right? How often we're giving them songs of praise. Now, the songs of praise isn't a problem to those who like to sing. If you like to sing or you have a musical characteristic of yourself, you may find yourself singing songs of praise to the Most High. Even if it's your own song that you make on the whim, you may find yourself singing that, unconsciously. But giving thanks to the Most High, how often are we doing that? Are we thanking him more than we're asking him for favors? Because that's the overall view, the worldly view of the Most High, as if he's some genie. Are we taking that approach to the Most High? Are we trying to foster that type of relationship with him, where we see him as some genie to grant us of all of our wishes, right? All of our wishes, all of our requests, all of our desires. Are we seeing him that way? Or are we actually reverencing him as the Almighty, the infinitely powerful deity of this entire universe and everything that's in existence? Ponder on that. Take time to self-reflect on that and check yourself accordingly. Verse 2. To show forth thy loving kindness in the morning and thy faithfulness every night. That loving kindness in the morning is the fact that you woke up to see another day. Your eyes open after going to sleep. Because if your eyes open after going to sleep, I mean the Most High looked out for you. Many this morning didn't get to wake up. They didn't get to wake up this morning. Whether they passed overnight in their sleep or whether they passed the day before. There's a lot of individuals that didn't get to wake up this morning. And the fact that you're listening to this lesson on this Shabbat, you will show loving kindness this morning. right? And that faithfulness every night is the fact that you dwelled safely. All right. When you in your dwelling place, nobody came and invaded your home. Nobody came and kicked your door down. Right. You didn't have none of that happen to you. Nobody came and invaded your home. Nobody came and held you at gunpoint and robbed you in your dwelling place or wherever you were, during the night. That's that faithfulness of the Most High. So all praises for that. Upon an instrument of 10 strings and upon a psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. That's verse 3 of Psalms 92. That's verse 3 of Psalms 92 there. Upon an instrument of 10 strings and upon a psaltery, upon the harp with a solemn sound. So there are many people who give praises to the Most High in that way. You have a lot of your musicians, right? Your musicians in the truth that make these songs with the Most High in mind, about the Most High and his business. That's that praise. But more specifically, I want to gear this, right? I want to gear this toward the aqua. Yeah, we're going to gear this toward the aqua. That's Psalms 92, verse 3. So all you sisters out there, right? All you sisters out there that are inspired, you're inspired, okay? You are not to be doing as Jezebel does. And we're gonna learn that through the Rara. Don't worry. But see, a prophetess, let's get something understood. A prophetess is an inspired woman. A prophetess isn't a woman who goes by her own will and try to profess the word of the Most High. Okay? That's not what a prophetess is. A prophetess is an inspired woman. A woman inspired by the Most High. And we're going to see that here in Exodus chapter 15, verse 20. And Miriam, the prophetess. Who was Miriam? Miriam was the sister of Moses. Miriam was the sister of Moses. Okay? And here, the Most High has it documented that Miriam was a prophetess. Was Miriam doing the same works as Moses and Aaron? No. That wasn't her office as a prophetess. You may ask them, what was her significance? Exodus 15 and 20 tells us. And Miriam, the prophetess, the sister of Aaron. We know Aaron was also the brother of Moses. Took a timbrel in her hand, and all the women went out after her with timbrels and with dances. Okay, so that states that they were inspired and they sung and danced their praise to the Most High with that inspiration. They didn't try to act as if they were a preacher or a teacher trying to profess the Most High's business. That's not what they did. Any woman you see doing that is out of order, and she has a Jezebel spirit on her. She's a demon. So let's get that understood. For all the sisters, all the aqua, if you're inspired, sing and dance. Sing praises to the Most High, dance for the Most High. That is the office of a prophetess. All right? So that was Exodus chapter 15, verse 20. That gives us that righteous definition of a prophetess. Asha Shabbat, Keith Rogers, welcome. We're in Psalms 92, Keith. Psalms chapter 92, the song for the Sabbath day. That's what we're doing. We're doing a meditation on that. We're not just reading it, we're meditating on it. All right, so if you got your Bible, go ahead and jump to Psalm chapter 92. So that was verse 3 that we just spoke on. Moving on to verse 4. For thou, Yahweh, hast made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. Cool. So even as we speak right now, right, you're on this live stream, or you all may be catching the playback of this live stream that was taken during this early Shabbat morning, right, out here on the highways and hedges. The moment that you open up that Bible, right, the moment you open up that Bible and you giving thanks and praise to the Most High, that's Psalm chapter 92, verse 4 in action, which we just read. For thou, Yahweh, has made me glad through thy work. I will triumph in the works of thy hands. So being thankful and grateful for all that he does and just for who he is, and taking that moment to reflect and kick it with the Most High through his word, that's what you're doing. You're triumphing in the works of his hands, right? Because we're getting a further understanding of his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and the things that pertain to his business throughout all of creation. We have a deeper understanding of all of that. So Kalala Yahweh Ba Shema Mashak Yahweh for that. Verse 5. Psalm 92, verse 5. We're going to get a little bit deeper on this one too, but it reads, O Yahweh, how great are thy works, and thy thoughts are very deep. Now let's just meditate on that real quick. The works of Yahweh are very great. If you can see and you can hear, that's the works of Yahweh. Even right now, the view that I'm giving you all during this live stream, that's the works of Yahweh. All right? And his thoughts are very deep. His thoughts are very deep. Nobody has Yahweh all the way figured out. Nobody does. Any man that tells you that, they're a liar, and most likely they're a false prophet. We do not 100% understand Yahweh. He may bless us with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding pertaining to his business, but there's so much more that we have to learn, right? There's so much more that we don't know that's outside of our grasp, Salak, being in these carnal vessels that we're in. You know, I spoke about this in a previous lesson, the series of the kingdom of Yahweh. Once the kingdom of Yahweh comes down, right, and we're in those new bodies, and, you know, the nation of Israel is in true rulership, then will we have access to all of that, right? It won't be until then. The things that we should know, we will know. But a lot of that knowledge is limited to the carnal vessels that we inhabit right now. So we can't grasp all that knowledge. We may have an idea of it. You know, if we're blessed, we'll have an idea of it, but we'll never have the true breakdown of it. Let's go ahead and get the context for that. We're going to the book of Isaiah, chapter 55. Book of Isaiah, chapter 55. Go ahead and drop that 7 in the chat when you're there, so let me know you're there. Book of Isaiah, chapter 55, starting at verse 6. Cool. Book of Isaiah, chapter 55, verse 6. Seek ye Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon he, Salah. Call ye upon him while he is near. So let's stop right there. We are instructed to seek Yahweh while he may be found and call upon him while he is near. All right? He's near right now. This very moment, he's near. This very moment, he's making himself available to be found. And this very moment, we're seeking him. How do you seek him? Through these scriptures. Not by your own understanding, not by your personal relationship. Nah, it's none of that. You seek him through the scriptures. That's how you seek him while he may be found, and call upon him while he is near. So he's near right now, so we call upon him. We show him reverence, right? We pray unto him. We do all of that. Of course, you pray unto him until your own time. We're not going to be praying all out in the open like the hypocrites do, but you get the firm understanding of that. Verse 7. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the righteous man his thoughts, and let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to Allah, for he will abundantly pardon. Okay, so what's Isaiah talking about here, right? What's the prophet Isaiah talking about here? He's talking about all of us who have came into the truth. Before you knew who you were as an Israelite, you was wicked as hell. You and I were wicked as hell before we knew our true identities, before we were awakened to this, before the Most High gave us the grace and mercy to allow us to know and to follow his way. We were wicked as hell. So we were indeed a part of that wicked. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. So those same thoughts you used to have before you in the truth, yeah, we forsook those thoughts, right? We forsook those ways and those thoughts that had us moving wickedly, right? Having us, in that spell that had us forsaking our true heritage, right? And let him return unto Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him, and to Allah, for he will abundantly pardon. So we've been abundantly pardoned because we've been chosen to walk in this truth. We've been chosen to accept who we are and to act accordingly, right? And for however long you've been in the truth, that's that grace and mercy, because there's a lot of individuals who were introduced and called into the truth, and now they're bugged out in wickedness because they fell out of the truth. They got sifted out, right? So we've been abundantly pardoned. So we're supposed to show that gratitude by being obedient to the will of Yahweh, and following Yahweh Shah by having that faith. Verse 5, Isaiah 55, verse 8. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh. So there we have it. Our thoughts are not his thoughts. Our ways are not his ways. We will never be able to fathom the thoughts of Yahweh. Remember, this is an entity who has been in existence before existence was even known. This is an entity we're talking about that has made everything that we're looking at and that we know of. This is an entity that is the supreme ruler of everything that we know of and everything that's beyond our knowledge. So how can you figure out some an entity that powerful? How can you have a full 100% understanding of such an entity? You can't. What did Yahweh say here? We're getting it right from the book. He said, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, saith Yahweh." So even our ways aren't his ways. The way he operates and the way he handles things is far beyond our comprehension. Far beyond our comprehension. So with us knowing that, we remain humble, right? We remain humble, we remain obedient, because such an entity can take you out of here by your worst nightmare. And he does it every day. And we're going to get to it, so hang back, hang tight. We'll get to it. Let's go to verse 9 now. Isaiah 55, verse 9. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So look up. Look up. Look up. This is the heavens. All right. This is the first heaven. And even that is so much higher than the ground where we're at. Okay. And beyond the first heaven, you have the second heaven, which many call outer space. And beyond that, you have the third heaven, which is the paradise of Yahweh. And don't worry, it's scriptural. I'll get it. Give me a second. I'll get that for us. Moving through the spirit, we'll get that. Oh, it's a lot. Okay. That's not it. Bear with me, y'all. Bear with me, and I'll get it. Bear with me. I'll find it, because this was going through the spirit, and I don't remember the complete book, chapter, and verse of it, but I will find it, so that way we can expound more on it. And for time and sake, if I can't find it, I'll just post it in the comments once this live stream is up and running. But bear with me and I'll find it. I don't have that complete book, chapter, verse on me now, but it was through Akshael. Okay. Paul talked about it. He talked about the first, second, and third heaven. And we know that third heaven is the paradise of God, the paradise of the Most High. Okay, wait. I think I found it. Salakia. Yes, I found it. Okay. Kalalaya. This is 2 Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 2 through 4. It reads, I knew a man in Mashiach above 14 years ago, whether in the body, I cannot tell, or whether out the body, I cannot tell. The Most High knoweth. Such an one caught up to the third heaven. Verse 3, and I knew such a man, whether in the body or out of the body, I cannot tell. the Most High knoweth, how that he was caught up into paradise and heard unspeakable words, which is not lawful for a man to utter. All right, so we know that that third heaven is the paradise of Yahweh. Okay, so we know there's three. The first that we're looking at, the second beyond what we're looking at, and the third, which is where the throne of Elohim is. And that was 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 2 through 4. The water for your patience on me finding that book, chapter, verse for what I was speaking of. All right. So we're going back to Psalm 92. So we got that understood, right? We understand that the Most High's thoughts are higher than our thoughts, and his ways are higher than our ways. And that was contextual evidence supporting Psalm 92, verse 5. Verse 6. A brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. So a brutish man will be a man that's stupid, right? A brutish man is a person that's stupid. A fool is just one who lacks understanding overall. They also fit in the category of somebody stupid. So anybody stupid won't be able to comprehend what we just covered, what we just read, and what we just talked about, and how it all compares. Somebody who lacks that understanding, who's a fool, or who's just stupid, will not understand that, according to the Most High. All right, so thus saith the Lord, and so true shall it be. That also plays into the natural man, right? Because we know the natural man doesn't receive the things that are spiritual, which come from the Most High. Those things that are spiritual are foolishness to him. And we know Akshay talked about that too. Shall we get it? Shall we go ahead and cover that to prove to anybody who's new coming through this live stream that is indeed the word of the Most High? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and cover it. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2, starting at verse 13. All right. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, starting at verse 13. Which things also we speak, not in the words which man's wisdom teacheth, but which the Holy Spirit teacheth, comparing spiritual things with spiritual. Verse 14, but the natural man receiveth not the things of the Spirit of Yahweh, for they are foolishness unto him. Neither can he know them, because they are spiritually discerned. But he that is spiritual judgeth all things, yet he himself is judge of no man. So there we have it. So when we go back to Psalms 92, right? When we go back to Psalms 92 and we read verse 6, a brutish man knoweth not, neither doth a fool understand this. That's who's being spoken of, the natural man. The man deprived of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding pertaining to the Most High. So there you have it. Precept upon precept, line upon line, contextual evidence. The Bible proving itself. Moving forward here. Verse 7. Psalm 92, verse 7. When the wicked spring as the grass, and when all the workers of iniquity do flourish, it is that they shall be destroyed forever. That's why. This is why we're not supposed to be envious of the wicked. Because everybody who's moving wickedly got destruction upon their name. And we just read it here. I got contextual evidence to that too. We'll get to it. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. Right? Let's get to that contextual evidence. Let's go to Psalms chapter 37. Starting at verse 34. Psalms chapter 37, starting at verse 34. When you get it, drop the 7 in the chat so we can begin to read in accordance. Psalms chapter 37, starting at verse 34. Con. All right. Tawab, let's go. Wait on Yahweh and keep his way, and he shall exalt thee to inherit the land. When the wicked are cut off, thou shalt see it. All right, so we see that every day, whether we seen it with our own eyes or we see it on the news. And it's happening every day regardless. It's happening this very moment somewhere. The wicked are being cut off every day. Okay? Verse 35, I have seen the wicked in great power and spreading himself like a green bay tree. Verse 35, yet he passed away, and lo, he was not. Yeah, I sought him, but he could not be found. Every day that happens. This very moment is happening somewhere. Somewhere on the earth it's happening. Whether it's in your city, whether it's in your state, whether it's in your country, whether it's in your region, whether it's in another country. It's happening right now as we speak. Going back to Psalms 92. Psalms 92, verse 8. But thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. Thou, Yahweh, art most high forevermore. So we know that the wicked are getting cut off and the most high is forevermore. So why not just do what he says to do? You can't go against him. You may think you're going against him. You may think you're doing what you want to do, but you're going to be dealt with. You will be dealt with if you're wicked and you think you can live life however the hell you want to live. You will get killed by the Most High. The Most High will kill your ass. The Most High will kill your ass if you think you can just live however the hell you want to live out here. It's happening every day. I say that loud and clear for everybody walking by. You hear it. Y'all hear it. The Most High will destroy you if you think you can just do whatever you want to do. Now, y'all don't see it, but there's a sidewalk behind me here with more people passing by. So I had to reiterate that so they can hear that loud and clear. Because that's the problem with this world, right? We know that the earth is given to the hand of wicked, right? So everybody thrives in wickedness. You know, they live under the notion of do as thou wilt, which is a Satanist philosophy. If you think you can, listen, anybody who says they're a free spirit, they're of Satan. Avoid anybody who claims to be a free spirit. Because those people who say they are free spirits, they do whatever the hell they feel like they want to do. Doesn't matter how moral or immoral it is. If it feels good to them, they'll do it. So if you know anybody that says they're a free spirit, stay the hell away from them. A free spirit will turn on your ass. A free spirit will do some shady shit behind your back. And that's where that comes from. All right? That's where that comes from. It's a wicked philosophy. And as we just read in verse 7, when the wicked flourish and they spring as grass, it's that they be destroyed forever. All right? So this is why we supposed to fear the Most High and do as he tells us to do. Keep his laws, statutes, and commandments. Have faith in Yahweh Shai. All right? That's why we act in obedience and faith. Because we know that there's an entity that doesn't play. And his name is Yahweh. Ba Shem Yahweh Shai. Verse 9, for lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. For lo, thine enemies, O Yahweh, for lo, thine enemies shall perish. All the workers of iniquity shall be scattered. So that's the context added before we even got to the verse there. The scripture itself proved what we talked about in our meditation before we even read it. Now, there's more contextual evidence to that, and let's go to it. Let's go to it. Let's go to the book of Psalms, chapter 7. The book of Psalms, chapter 7, starting at verse 10. And y'all already know what to do in the chat when you get there, so we can start the reading in sequence. Psalms chapter 7, starting at verse 10. Cool. Psalms chapter 7, verse 10. My defense is of Allahayah, which saveth the upright in heart. So let's stop on that. We know that we have a defense in the Most High because we are upright. We desire to do his will, and we have faith in his Son. Therefore, we have a defense in the Most High. All right, so I want everybody to take time to appreciate that right now. Appreciate that you have a defense that's greater than this whole world, greater than this whole universe, greater than this whole space, everything under existence. We have a defense that's greater than all of that. So take time to appreciate that as we can, before we continue reading on here. Verse 11. The Most High judgeth the righteous, and the Most High is angry with the wicked every day. There you have it. More emphasis on the disdain that the Most High has for the wicked. See, I'll tell you another philosophy that is of Satan, and it's pushed by this world. It's a worldly philosophy. God loves everybody. Yeah, that is a worldly philosophy that's getting many people destroyed, because that philosophy supports an idea that no matter what you do, no matter how you do it, no matter what your vices are, you can continue to embrace them, and the Most High will continue to look after you. The Most High continue to love you. No, that's not the case. That's not the case at all. He loves you if you do as he says to do. Not if you're moving wickedly. If you're moving wickedly, you're bound to get destroyed. You can't break it down any further than that. Verse 12, Psalm chapter 7, verse 12. If he turn not, he will whet his sword. He hath bent his bow and made it ready. So what does that tell us there in the next verse? It tells us that, yeah, the Most High may be angry with the wicked every day. He may be destroying the wicked every day, but he still gives some grace. He still gives some grace. But if he don't correct himself, he will whet his sword and bend his bow, meaning he's preparing the weapons of destruction against such individuals. Listen here. We all been afflicted by such weapons of destruction by the Most High in our wickedness. He just didn't do it to the capacity to take us out of here. Oh yeah, we've all experienced an affliction of the weapons of the Most High against us in our wickedness. Salakia, it's very windy out here. Very windy and cold out here right now, so you see the camera moving, it's because the wind that's blowing. You may even hear it in the audio. Pay it no mind. But yeah, the Most High has used non-lethal weapons against us in our disobedience. It didn't take us out of here, but it definitely put a hurting on us. And those weapons come in all forms, shapes, and sizes. circumstances, situations, experiences, etc. But here, he's speaking of the lethal weapons that he designs against the wicked. And he compares them figuratively as whetting his sword and bending his bow. Right? The sword we know is just a weapon. We know the bow is a projectile weapon. And there's many weapons and projectile weapons that the Most High uses on a carnal in the carnal world to take out the wicked. Oh yeah. Yeah. Nonetheless, let's get back to the reading here. Psalm chapter 7, verse 13. He hath also prepared him the instruments of death. He ordained his arrows against the persecutors. So what does that say? If he's doing all that against the wicked, yet he's our defense, that means the Most High is working such preparations against those who oppose us. I don't think too many people are ready to hear that, especially on the playback. I know y'all who are listening right now, I know y'all got a firm understanding of that, but those who may stumble across this or catch it later, they may not understand that. But yeah, that's why you don't play with the Most High's people. And those who are obedient to the Most High and doing what they need to do, you don't play with them. Because when you play with them, you're playing with the Father. And the Father will just see you for messing with them. Hey, I've seen it. I've seen it happen. With foes that I've had in my life, there's more than a handful of my enemies that are no longer breathing due to what we're talking about here in Psalm chapter 7. I'm pretty sure y'all have some enemies that are no longer breathing, that afflicted you sometime in the past or sometime in the present, right? Because before we woke up, the Most High knew he was going to wake us up. Before we got into this truth, the Most High knew we were going to eventually